Here's some political analysis from an Iowa expert about Justice Breyer's retirement. University of Iowa professor Tim Hagel says without a filibuster on Supreme Court nominees, it should be easy for President Biden to get a reasonable replacement pushed through the Senate, as long as they don't have any skeletons in their closet. Hagel doesn't see Republicans putting up a fight, especially if the nominee ends up being a historical appointment. Hagel says any new appointment is unlikely to change the makeup of the court, but a more liberal justice could tip the scales and make it harder for justices to find common ground. 6 states now have more than 75% of their populations fully vaccinated, which means they have received their first 2 shots of the COVID-19 vaccine. According to the latest data from the CDC, those states are Connecticut, Hawaii, Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Vermont. The overall percentage of people in the U.S. who are fully vaccinated is now more than 63%, and about a quarter of the total U.S. population has also received a booster shot. But nearly 20% of the eligible population still have not received any dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. An assistant Woodbury County attorney says she'll be seeking the top job in that office this fall. Jacqueline Fox says she'll seek the Republican Party's nomination for county attorney. She's been an assistant county attorney for the past decade. Fox says her vision for the future includes more resources for prosecuting violent crimes, enhancing victims' rights, and adopting greater transparency and collaboration practices. Current county attorney P.J. Jennings, a Democrat, was first elected to the post in 2006. The Sioux City City Council had the opportunity to hear from some residents in a council speakout. Once a month, the members of various city departments gather to hear questions and any concerns as part of conversations the community has, and have the ability to answer any questions directly after. Tonight was the council's turn. Doctors in eastern Iowa say between 8 and 9 of every 10 new cases of COVID-19 in Iowa right now are of the Omicron variant of the virus. That number could be higher, but since there's a 10-day lag in the CDC's reporting of variant numbers, doctors at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics say they don't have the exact number right now. There is good news, though. Doctors are predicting the state of Iowa will see its Omicron peak sometime at the end of the month. The semi-driver who died in an accident at Merrill yesterday has been identified. The Plymouth County Sheriff's Office says the driver was 70-year-old Richard Johnson of Jackson, Minnesota. He was driving a semi owned by JBS Carriers. The semi ran into a power pole, knocking out electricity to hundreds of people. We still don't know if Johnson died as a result of the crash or if he had a medical problem that led to the accident. The White House says it will make 400 million N95 masks available to the public for free. White House officials say the masks, which are coming from the Strategic National Stockpile, will be available at thousands of local pharmacies and health centers. The masks will be free, and the White House says the program will be up and running by early next month. The CDC says N95 masks offer better protection against the Omicron variant than cloth masks. Toyota has taken over the top spot from GM, becoming top-selling automaker in the U.S. for 2021. It's the first time in 90 years GM isn't the best-selling car company in the United States. It's also the first time a non-domestic automaker has taken the lead. Toyota was able to handle supply chain issues better and had a 10% increase in sales compared to GM's 12% drop. And Ford was the best performing stock among automakers in 2021. Shares of Ford Motor bumped up around 140% in the last year, beating Tesla among other electric vehicle makers. The company's biggest single-day share increase came last month when the CEO said Ford would triple production of one of its electric vehicles for North America and Europe by 2023. That day's shares hit a 20-year high of $21.45 a share. Police in Cedar Rapids say a wrong-way driver on Interstate 380 caused a massive wreck and quite a show yesterday. That car caused one semi to tip over and another car to crash into the median as it tried to drive between them before going on to hit a second semi and another car. Police say that's when the driver got out of his car, stripped naked, and ran off. He was found nearby and taken to the hospital for evaluation, I'm guessing for frostbite. Iowa saw record voter turnout in the 2021 elections, and now Secretary of State's office is hoping to continue that trend by encouraging more people to serve as poll workers. The U.S. Election Assistance Commission has proclaimed today National Poll Worker Recruitment Day. Iowa Secretary of State Paul Pate is helping spread awareness. Pate says his office is constantly seeking volunteers to serve their communities. The state of South Dakota is also offering its own free COVID tests. The South Dakota Health Department says it's received the first shipment of FDA-approved FlowFlex rapid antigen tests and is sending them to long-term care facilities across the state. They're ultimately expecting 1 million of those tests to be received and distributed to sites across the state over the next 2 weeks. They'll be available for free of charge to any South Dakota resident. Storm Lake police say a 9-year-old child was injured in an accidental shooting last night. Officers were called to a home on East 12th Street around 7:30 to investigate that shooting. The 9-year-old was taken to the hospital in Storm Lake for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Police say a second child in the home located an unsecured handgun and accidentally fired it, striking the 9-year-old. No charges have been filed, but police say the case remains under investigation.